Okay, guys, the daily morning joke here is a little bit later than usual because I took today and tomorrow off from work to spend a little time with Spaz kid before he has to go back to school, so I got to sleep in. Anyway, today's joke, I read this one and I thought it was really funny. I'm interested to see if you guys think so too, but here goes. So anyway, our pal Bruce is hanging out in his yard one day, and new people had just bought the house next door, and he sees the man that bought it walking next to the fence, and he comes over to him to introduce himself, and they chit-chat a little bit, and Bruce says, the guy says, so, what do you do for a living? And the guy says, well, actually, I'm a professor at the college. He says, I teach deductive reasoning. Bruce says, really, what's that? And the professor says, well, let me give you an example. He says, out in your backyard, I see you have a doghouse, so from that I can deduce that you have a dog. And Bruce says, yeah. And he says, well, now the fact that you have a dog leads me to deduct that you probably are a family man. You have a family. And Bruce says, yeah, that's true. And now the professor says, the fact that you have a family leads me to believe that you have a wife. And Bruce says, yeah, I do. I'm not always crazy about the idea, but sure, I do. And the professor says, now the fact that you have a wife leads me to deduce that you're a heterosexual man. So I was able to deduce your sexual preferences just by something as simple as seeing a doghouse in your backyard. And Bruce goes, wow, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's really awesome. And so the two of them chat on a little more, and then they go about their business. Now, a little later in the day, Bruce runs into another guy from the neighborhood who lives farther down the block. And this guy says to him, he says, hey, man, he says, have you met your new neighbor yet? And Bruce says, yeah, he's a really good guy. He teaches deductive reasoning at the college. And the neighbor says, deductive reasoning, what's that? And Bruce says, well, let me give you an example. Do you have a doghouse? And the neighbor says, no. Bruce says, fag.